Welcome to another edition of Wildcat Country. Eric Cohen and Shane Dale. And Shane, let's get right to it. We have, I guess, the man not only of the hour, but of the last 6 months on the University of Arizona campus. He has come in and just done some great things thus far. Jedd Fisch, the head football coach for the University of Arizona football team, joining us here on Wildcat Country. Coach, really glad to have you. Thank you very much for doing this. My first question is, when you got hired in late December, you had a game plan. And thus far, it's been crazy to all of us on the outside. Would you say, though, that you have achieved what you had planned on doing? You've overachieved or underachieved?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on the podcast. It's been 6 months, and I have never been invited before. So I appreciate being on, and super excited about what we are in the middle of doing, I guess. It's a long journey, and we had certain expectations when we got here, who we wanted to hire. The staff was always, in my opinion, the most important thing that we could do is get that right. And we're super excited about what we did with the staff, who we hired, who came in, who we retained from, let's call it the Wildcat world, the alumni base, get them excited again. And then I've always had the same mentality ever since I dreamt of being a head coach one day, was to go in there and just work really hard and see what happens. And see, I like to tell people that if you just, treat people right and you're able to connect with a lot of different people in a lot of different areas, you have a chance to be hopefully a successful football coach on the field. And that's our ultimate goal.
Jedd, first of all, just to be clear, you have an open invitation to join us every week on this podcast if you'd like to. So thanks so much for taking the time. When you were named the new head coach at Arizona, it's fair to say a lot of Wildcat fans were skeptical, to put it nicely. And I'll admit I was one of them, okay? And you've certainly won a lot of fans over since then for a number of reasons. But did you know when you arrived in Tucson just how much work you had to do not only to turn around this program, but to win over this fan base heading into your first season here?
Yeah, well, I probably didn't think about winning over the fan base per se. I kind of felt like if we did everything that we set out to do, and I said that to Dave when Dave interviewed me. I said it to Dr. Robbins when Dr. Robbins interviewed me. I said, I'm not worried as much about winning over really anybody right now other than our football team, because if we do it the way we believe we will do it, hire great people, go get some of the top coaches in the country, stay connected with so many NFL coaches and have them come visit and be a part of this program, recruit really well, connect with our own team, spend a ton of extra time with our players, that, you'll start winning them over because you'll just be doing the right things. And my goal is always just to do the right thing on the field, off the field, connect with the alumni, connect with the donors. I understand who helps us get to where we want to be. We've, done an entire renovation of our building that we didn't plan on doing because we've had supporters that wanted to step up and help us. And that's the exciting part of where we're at. And I love our players. I love that they come up to my office and visit with me and tell me about what I would have learned during recruiting. So it's a lot of fun, and we're thrilled to be a part of this.
You mentioned many of whom we've had on this program, and a couple of you happen to hire as well. You've definitely gone above and beyond in making alumni feel welcome. That's been abundantly clear with everyone we've talked to. And it's the first time in a long time for a lot of them who maybe they felt disconnected from this program before. They definitely don't now. Why has that been such a focus for you?
Well, I've told this story before that when I got hired, I was going to hire Ricky Hunley no matter what job I went to. I was Ricky's GA 20 years ago. We've always stayed in touch. I've always had the utmost respect for Ricky. I've always wanted him to coach the linebackers or the defensive line wherever I was at. 4 years ago, I met Chuck Cecil and really enjoyed our time together. I was not with him at the Rams, but I followed him. And I know what the players said about him. I know the respect that he has. So those were two really easy hires. My first night that I got the job, Coach Belichick introduced me to Teddy Bruschi, and we connected right away. And I felt that there had to be a role for him somewhere in our program. And, then you get to meet guys like Brandon Sanders and Cindric Steptoe. And now you have 5 alumni in your building. And then, you also have some recruiting coordinators and some other jobs out there. And so then you start reaching out to the alumni and you start they do the best job for you, right? Those 5 guys talk about what we're doing in our building. They talk about how they've connected. They talk about how we run our program. And then that information just trickles out. And all I believe in is be honest with our alumni, tell them where we're at, ask them to be a part of things, invite them to everywhere. And we could have a spring game that had 204 or 196 former Wildcats came back. And hopefully we'll have 400 the next year.
And I'll tell you what, Coach, Shane and I were there and had a blast. It was everything that you did to make that game more fun. And it was a lot of fun just to be a part of it. And we appreciate what you did, for the fans, not only, as well as the football alumni. I know this is kind of a blunt question, but your expectations for year one are?
To play really, really hard, to never walk off the field with anything but appreciation for the players' efforts, and see how many games we can win doing that. I don't know how many games every coach looks at every game and you're like, man, we could win that game, and then you look at it and be like, yeah, we could lose that game. You don't know, you really don't know. But we're going into every single game with an expectation to play extremely, extremely tough, extremely hard, extremely well. And if you do those things and you don't turn the football over, most of the time you win. So we're gonna try to do that, and we're gonna try to go out there. And we have very high expectations, and we're never gonna shy away from that, right? No one rises to low expectations. So we're just gonna continue to build this thing up. We believe we can get great recruits in here. We believe that our building is going to sell itself. We believe our program is going to sell itself. And hopefully a lot of people are going to want to play for Arizona.
At the spring game, one thing that I noticed is the wide receiver group is stacked. You have a great core there. In your opinion, are they the strongest position group that you have on the roster, or is there somewhere else that we should take a look at as fans saying, hey, we're pretty well set here?
I don't know. I do like our receiving core. But I really like I like all of our position groups, truthfully. We have to stay healthy, and we want to make sure that, we can play our starters. That's always a key, right? The best ability is availability, and the second best ability is durability. So if we could be durable, and then available, we have a chance to, play really well. So for all of our position groups, we got to be healthy. We got to go out there and compete, play at a very high level. Not exactly, sure which group is at the highest right now, but we've got a unique group. We've got a lot of transfers here. We've got a lot of new guys that arrived, 30-something new players that weren't here in the spring. So we're excited about them as well.
Jedd, you've definitely taken time to pay tribute to teams from the past, and we've heard some rumblings that may include the football uniforms for next season, maybe going back to a traditional Desert Swarm type look. Can you elaborate any more on that and give us a hint as far as what fans could expect?
I don't know. Maybe September 5th, I'm available for the podcast, so we could maybe talk then on what that looks like. But I tell our guys, we should be able to show up in anything and play our best. So what we wear, we're just going to focus in on how we play. Let's see if other people can focus in on what we wear.
All right, we're going to get our producer, Chris, to jot down September 5th. Make sure we get you back on the podcast then. I know you've been encouraging – awesome. I know you've been out there encouraging fans to buy tickets for the upcoming season, and it looks like season ticket holders have renewed in good numbers so far, but you want to keep that going. I want to give you a chance to talk to Juve fans in the Phoenix area, like Eric and I are, who might be listening or watching right now. It's a bit of a drive to Tucson and back. On-field product hasn't been good for a while. Give them your best pitch. Why should they make that investment in this team this season and buy tickets to the games?
Yeah, and I appreciate you guys having me on to talk about it because it's so important. First of all, we've got 6 of these, right? We got 6 of them a year. And the opportunity to be able to watch a live football game at a place which could have an incredible atmosphere and be able to start new traditions, and which we're going to start new traditions. and be a part of what I really believe is an SEC atmosphere. And that's what we have to create. We have a chance to be in a college town with a ton of hotels. 1 million people are living, Tucson. Then you have all of Phoenix, all of Scottsdale, all of, Maricopa County, and a chance to all be a part of this thing. It's an hour and 45-minute drive. I just made it for the Suns game the other night. And the truth be told, night games are awesome. In the NFL, it's like the player's dream to play at night. So I tell our guys, this is a dream come true. 7:30 at night under the lights, the weather's perfect. And what else are you going to do? Sit at home and watch it, or be a part of an entire culture that's changing. And if we could sell this place out, it will be awesome. And that's what it's like. Oh no, if you win, we'll come. How about if you come, we'll win? And, let's trade it that way and say, if you keep coming and we keep competing hard, these kids deserve it. They're working their tails off at 6 in the morning and at 6 at night to be able to put a great product on the field. Will it be great? I don't know, but it's going to be something that you'll be proud of, because they're going to work they're going to give everything they got, blood, sweat, and tears. And we would love to fill the stadium and sing and cheer and wave the Tucson towels and sing Bear Down at the end of the third quarter. I want all arms around each other. I'm going to show that on Twitter, what we're going to do, and we're going to break right into another song. And we're going to do it, let's call it the SEC way, and make it the greatest home field in the world.
Well, Coach, I was going to have a follow-up question. You just nailed it right there. We really appreciate your time. We'd love to have you back on closer to the season, but just so great to get a chance to talk to you. You got both Shane and I fired up, and I think all of our listeners will feel the same way. I will be there for all your games. I told you off the air. I haven't missed a home game, as I like to say, a non-pandemic game since 2006, and I will be there for all of your home games, God willing. So I hope a lot of our listeners will join. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I think what we should expect from the team, as you said, they're going to play hard, and we're excited for it. Thank you so much for joining us, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Let's do it in August again.